Hey, what's up? It's Baz the Magician, and I want to take the time out to talk about playing cards. Now, before going into this video, I'm going to say right up front, I am not sponsored or getting any compensation in any way from any playing card company. This is just my information that I'm relaying as I see it because I believe this is an important subject that needs to be talked about for any amateurs or intermediates coming into Magic. That being said, let me get into the video. I was in a conference call the other day with an amateur magician, and he was showing some stuff and needed some help, and I was giving him tips, but the quality of the cards he was using was so bad, he was struggling to not only hold the cards, but do the moves, and it was a mess. And he wasn't aware of why you would use quality playing cards, so later on that day, I texted him and asked him how he was doing because we got cut off on the call. And he mentioned that he was scrounging up money to get, a new deck of cards because the other ones he was using were bad. So when I asked him about what type he was getting another bad quality cards. And so I explained to him, you want to get quality cards. And there are two reasons why I suggest Bicycle Standard. The first reason is they're very tough and durable. You can drop them on the ground, pick them up, and they still function pretty well. But more importantly, the second reason is that the back design on Bicycle Standards are so commonplace that pretty much every single place in the entire world recognizes it. And so, sure, you can get weird colors, but the design itself is the important part. Because when you break out Bicycle cards, people are so familiar with it, they automatically identify with, okay, this is cool. If you start using odd decks that are just thinner, which is a bridge deck, I'll get into that in another video. But also, if you start using different designs or a different make, it kind of may set people on the, off where they might think something's up with the deck. Even though it may be completely innocent, that's just the mindset that people have when they're looking at this stuff. You also want to practice with quality cards to get used to it, simply because if you start using bad quality cards and then you pick up a deck that has good quality, you're going to get messed up because you're not used to using them. So my point here is that you want to practice with the same decks you're going to actually be using in the shows, or I should say the same types of cards you're going to be using during your shows or even practice. Also, it's important to understand that I'm a believer in practice in using in a show or whatever you're going to do with what you practice with. Because often people will say practice with something okay in case it gets damaged or whatever else it is. But these are playing cards you're talking about. They can be very easily replaced. But when you practice with what you're going to be using, you don't have to undo any type of mistake you might make or anything else, or readjust what you're doing. So I just wanted to make that point because a lot of places on the net, whether it's YouTube or forums and, websites or whatever, a lot of them don't mention this. I really can't find this information, and that is actually important because the newer comers that are coming in need to know this information if they're really serious about it, or even if you're an amateur. Again, whether you're doing, practice or just as a hobby, or you're actually going to be doing it as a show, you want to make sure that you put in your all. And as everybody knows through, this Magic channel that I have here, that I'm all about details. I always tell people, use a deck until it gets ruined. But whenever you go do any show, I always tell them, use a brand new deck in that show. And that's why I said, what you're going to use in the shows or what you're going to be doing, you want to practice with. So as soon as you open it, you're already ready to go. You don't have to worry about it. You already know what you're doing. You're confident and things like that. So that brings me into pricing. Now, Bicycle cards are by nature expensive. A single deck in another place may be, $4 or, $3. Or even in a magic shop, they sell them for $3 or $4. This dual pack in Walmart came to a total of like $4.20. So that's pretty much about $2 per pack. So I just figured those points were important for people to understand. And that's about the extent of that. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Spaz Magician signing out.